So welcome back to Reaper's Candle. I would like to apologize for the late upload. I just got back from Ireland last Tuesday, so I was just kind of trying to re-ground myself into my previous life before I started traveling. And I was just caught up with a lot of things in my personal life and my professional career life. So the whole week was quite busy. But now that I have time, I'm doing a reading. And as per the subscribers' recommendations, I'm going to start doing more like 20-25 minute readings that are done quickly and they deal with like a specific topic rather than a whole general topic. And if you guys want, I can do longer readings like every month, every 2 months, maybe 3 or 4 times during the year, something like that. But do let me know about that in the comments below. But for now, we're just going to continue with specific detailed topics, and we're going to do 20-minute readings for that. So take a moment to ground yourself, and you can do that by chakra meditation, by taking deep and long breaths, or just by holding yourself in the moment and being aware of your body and your presence. And then you guys can go ahead and pick the pile that resonates or draws you in the most. Okay, so I'll give you time to do that. Okay, so pile 1, or for those of you who picked the Angel Charm or the Star Spinner Tarot, this is your part 1 of the reading. So we are going to be going into detail, asking questions. How far is your spouse from you physically right now? Where are they currently physically right now? Where do they live? What are their current energy and thoughts? The time that it will take for your next meeting, and how long it will take for you guys to get married. So just starting off with the first part, we've got the 10 of Wands for how far are they physically from you. So from this card, what I'm getting is that they are very far away from you, but they may be showing up in your dreams. So it's almost like that sense, like physically, you guys are very far apart, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually, you guys feel very close together. Then the next question I asked is, where are they currently right now, like in the physical realm? And we got the Devil and the Hermit for your cards. So the Devil, I was focusing on the bottom area and the thighs area, so definitely they're very sexually active right now. And with the Hermit is supposed to be a very religious, calm, conservative, grounded character. But with this card, I was focusing on the feet, and it almost felt like they were shuffling or walking. So the words that I got when I was asking this question was bed and club. So I think the bed may be where they spend most of their time, because obviously they're very sexually active. But currently right now, they may be at the club either dancing or walking around looking for the next person that they want to be sexually active with. And then finally, the last question that I asked was, where do they live? So your spouse, you got the Chariot, the 5 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, and the 4, which is the Emperor. So just by all of these 5s in here, you can definitely tell that it is a very change-driven area. It's always like constantly changing, new people, new opportunities, new events, new things happening, and it's a very busy area. And that's confirmed by the Chariot. The Chariot basically says that wherever they're living, it's a very busy area because the Chariot is supposed to be fast-moving energy. And then with this Five of Wands, I was getting a very isolated feeling that even though this area is busy and there's a lot of hustle and bustle, people walking around every day and it's very crowded, you still feel isolated in the city. And with these stars, there may be a lot of lights or shining objects like shiny buildings or maybe billboards that light up or posters or something like that. And then with the swords, I was getting that the people over there are very rough, and I heard the word Bronx, and they may not be as polite or as nice as you would expect someone to be in general. And then on top of that, you've got the Emperor, where I was focusing on the world. So it may be a very important or a very top world city, and I got the World Trade Center looking at this globe that he's holding in his scepter. And I'm just focusing on the eagle now. So with all these cards, I was definitely getting a vibe of a big city, but more specifically New York City, especially since it does have bright lights, it is very busy, you do tend to feel isolated, and the people over there could be rough, especially in the Bronx, and they do have a World Trade Center. So with this eagle, that's just confirming that it is in America, right? But it could be any big city that has these qualities or characteristics to it. It may also be that they are living on the other side of the world from you, so that could explain the distance, physically how far they are from you. And obviously in big cities, people tend to be more sexually active, there tend to be more nightclubs and partying and dating, things like that going on, so that could also be the reason where they are physically right now, what they're doing. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next part. Okay, so pile 1, just going to move these a little bit down here. I don't know why it's showing up so dark, but anyways, so pile 1. The next part of your reading is your spouse's current energy and thoughts. So for the current energy, we got the Two of Wands, the Magician, and the Eight of Cups, okay? And asking the question, what are your spouse's current energy? I focus on the Magician immediately, and it seems like a very chaotic energy. So it almost seems like, and I was focusing in on this cup and him like pointing to it and putting like ingredients into it to create this explosion and pouring a magic spell or whatever onto it. I feel like they are super duper busy in their lifestyle. I think like they're spreading themselves a little bit too thin, and they're trying to do whatever they can whenever they can. So they're not only busy with their work, but they're also very busy with their own personal life. And I think that's where this chaoticness is coming from, is that they're stable in their busy career life, like it's very grounded and very practical energy, but in their personal life they're almost like in this hasty energy, and I think that'll be explained later on from their current thoughts. But they're in their very hasty and chaotic energy, just trying to grasp at straws and hoping to God that one of them works out. So they're very active and trying out different things, doing different things, and going to different and new places. But their energy, while chaotic, at the same time, it's very longing and lonely and alone. They're very in this, I don't want to say depressed state, but it's almost a feeling of depression, like, where are you? Talking about you. And they're longing for you, but they can't see the way. They're very lost in their life, and they don't know what step to take forward and where they want to go or where they are going. So there's this energy as well coming up on more an emotional level. So they're longing for emotional fulfillment, even though on the outside they have all this chaotic energy going on. And then with this Two of Wands, this was the last card that I focused on, and it wasn't even giving me like a super clear message until I actually tried to focus in on it. So it may not be that important, or It may be like the reading may be something that their energy, that is showing an energy that's very deeply covered, or it may not pop up that often in their life. So the Two of Wands was giving me an energy that they have to make a decision between two things, or maybe a few different things, but they're kind of avoiding this decision. As you can see, they're holding the decisions, right? But they're turning their face away from it, but at the same time they're also walking away from the audience, or you maybe. So they have to make a decision, and they're kind of seeking your guidance on it, but at the same time they're turning away from making the decision and walking away from you. So again, this whole idea of chaoticism, right? That they know that they need to make a decision in their personal life, but they don't want to right now. I don't think they're ready for it right now. So they're kind of walking away from you, not really making any decisions specifically, and kind of still looking at you. So it's a very vague, like kind of leaving you hanging basically, and waiting, because they're not ready to make any decision right now, even though they are longing for that decision to be made so that you guys can be together, because that is what is going to emotionally fulfill them. But I think because of this chaotic energy, I think that may be the reason why they are so lost and why they're avoiding the decision. They may not feel comfortable or confident in making a decision right now because they're so busy and they're just all over the place. And then their current thoughts, you got the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. So their current thoughts are very much centered around marriage and finding the one, but they're thinking, out of all of the people that they've met or slept with or dated or whatever, right, which one is the right one for them, right? But I'm not getting a vibe that it is any of these goldfishes. It's you, obviously, but because you guys live so far away, they may not be seeing you, they may not be aware of your presence, and that's why this person also kind of feels like a hopeless type of expression, as if like thinking about these things, it's none of them, but they just keep on going around, and they're just kind of stuck in this constant repetitive cycle of, oh, it could be one of these, and then they, at the end of the day, they always say no, but then they come back around to these options and they say, oh, maybe it is one of them and I just didn't know. So it's a very hopeless type of repetitive cycle that they're doing, because they are looking for the one, but they just haven't found them yet because you guys are so far away. Okay, pile one. So the next part of the reading is how long until you guys meet, like your next meeting, and then how long until you guys get married. So for how long until your next meeting, we got the 6 of Coins, and from this I was hearing 4 to 5 months, but I was also seeing the depend on and depends. And I had to pull out some cards for what does it depend on. So on your spouse's side, it depends on whether they make a decision to find love and pursue you and follow through with it. But on your side, it depends on whether you can get over your fear of their flirtatious and sinful behaviors, like drinking too much or going out to the club and having sex a lot and all that type of stuff. Okay? So based on whether you guys can overcome these things, you will meet within the 4 to 5 months. It could be earlier, it could be later, depending on how quickly or soon you guys deal with this stuff. And then for how long until you guys get married, we got the Hangman in reverse. And I was focusing in on the apples and these like kind of like fall branches over here. So it feels like it could be very soon. It could be like literally within this month of September. Or it could be September of next year, but I'm really not getting that feeling. But again, whatever resonates with you. I'm really getting the feeling of September, maybe November, and then with the 12, it could be December, but I don't think so. I'm just giving you some time stamps that it could happen by, but September is really resonating strongly with me, and there's apples over here, and funnily enough, there's also apples over here in the Lovers card. So there's that, and then there's strawberries here, which aren't apples, but they kind of like have a similar shape and similar color, right? So that is what's happening in terms of the time periods for your next meeting and until you guys get married. Okay? And usually the Hangman says like it's a stagnant thing, but because it's in reverse, it definitely moves. It's moving very fast, and the decisions are being made very quickly. I also felt drawn to these coins, but I'm not sure exactly why I'm feeling drawn to those coins in terms of like the time to the next meeting. It could be that you guys are meeting for something related to career or job wise, like maybe that he's traveling over to your city or you're traveling over to their city. It kind of feels like you're traveling over to their city to maybe make a deal in like the head offices, or to meet up with the team that you guys are collaborating with on a project, or are maybe looking to collaborate with on a project, and they happen to be on the team. And I'm not seeing like a senior level position, but definitely they are part of a team that is at a higher authority level, or a higher level in the hierarchy of the organization. There's a little mini ant crawling over your cards. It's fine. Yeah. All right. So pile one, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. And if it resonated, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you guys have any suggestions or comments or specific topics that you guys would like to see in the future, please do leave a comment below in the comment box. Thank you, and have a wonderful, blessed week. Okay, welcome pile 2. So this is the reading for those of you who picked the Army Medal of Honor or the Children of Lisa Tarot deck. So what we're going over today is a 3-part quick reading, right? We're answering the questions: how far is your spouse physically from you? Where are they physically right now, like literally right now? Where do they live? And then in the second part, we're going to go over their current energy and their thoughts. And then the final part will be how long until your next meeting with them, and how long until you guys get married. So the first part, we asked, just a second, there's a lot of wind blowing, just a minute. Okay. The first part we asked, physically, how far is your spouse from you right now? So the first thing that I heard is, because of this Temperance card, which is have some patience, but they're close by. And the second thing that I was hearing was 4 places away, 4 cups away, so it may be after you get your 4th cup of coffee, and then you meet them. And it also showed me 1 star away, or 1 wand away. I don't know what 1 wand away means. Maybe it's a line, and after the line is finished, and that could be why you've got 4 cups of coffee as well. Like, you're standing in line, right, and they're close by, but you have to have patience, right, until you meet them. And after the 4th cup of coffee is ordered, or the 4th person orders their cup of coffee, then you are able to meet them. And even over here, you can see, like, she's pouring like a mixture of milk and stuff. So your spouse may be a barista or a bartender or something like that, but I heard bartender first before barista, even though I was seeing like the people in Starbucks that make your coffee and stuff. but it may be like a more high-end coffee shop where instead of using like chemical syrups or like processed syrups and stuff, they make everything by themselves. So that could be the reason why I'm seeing more of like a bartender title rather than a barista. It could be like one of those Italian coffee shops, you know, like they actually make your order properly for you all the way from scratch and like with pressed coffee and everything. So yeah. Then the second question is, where are they physically right now? Like literally in the moment, where are they? And I was hearing that they are, right now, they are in a forest. I don't think they're hunting. I think they're hiking, a walking trail or something. But it's like a forest with a lot of like, it's a difficult terrain because you have to walk up and there's like a lot of leaves and broken branches and stuff. There's also a stream going off to the side, like on the lower part of the hill that they are, the steep hill that they are climbing up on. And they're wearing hunter clothes. So definitely the season is cold, but I'm not seeing a winter over there yet. It's like the river stream has a thin layer of ice on top, so it's starting to freeze. And there's definitely like fall vibe going on with barely any leaves on the trees, and there's like fall colors everywhere, but there's no snow on the ground. And they're wearing clothes like they're hunting something. Like that's the type of vibe that I'm getting. That could be why I was seeing like a hunt, like they're hunting in the forest, but they're not. They're hiking up a very steep cliff or trail with a one of those hiking sticks, and they're just happen to be dressed how a hunter would be dressed, because it is cold. And then finally, the last question for the first part was, where do they live? And I was seeing the countries that I heard was Sweden or Netherlands or Iceland, somewhere up in like Northern Europe. And definitely was seeing like a big, huge hill that's just all green, and it has like these types of goats and rams, like just a few of them. And then on like a little bit below that hill, there's like a little dip, like a valley, and in there's their house. There's a house there, or like a barn or something like that. And so they live over there. So it's quite a rural area, and it could be a farming community or a country where there's like a lot of farmland on hills and valleys. And I'm definitely getting a colder vibe again with this stuff, but there's a lot of greenery there. And the colder vibe I think I'm getting is because of like, usually when you go up further on terrain, you get stronger and colder winds. And yeah, obviously with the open field. And I'm still seeing them dressed up like a farmer, like kind of like a farmer from the, what are those, the Aran Islands from Ireland. You know how they dress in like those special wool sweaters, you know, and jeans and boots. I'm seeing that kind of a vibe with this person. Okay, so pile 2, the next part of your reading is current energy and thoughts. So the current energy of your spouse is the Hermit. So again, like how I described, like what they're doing, like where they currently right now in this moment, is literally the Hermit's energy. I told you that they were in a forest and they were hiking, and that's exactly what we're seeing in this picture. But what their current energy right now is the Hermit energy. They are very much in a retreative mode, and they're kind of isolating themselves and just living in nature and going about their almost like a very off-grid type of lifestyle. Not really off-grid because they don't have the internet off or anything like that, or the phone lines, but they're off-grid in the sense that they're kind of going back to the more simpler way of living without having to be constantly bombarded by people and constantly having to check their social media or contact people or anything like that. They're very much in a retreat type of mode. And what they're doing with this mode is reflecting on the past, right? Because they have their face turned away behind them, but using those reflections to kind of figure out what their life purpose is, what are their future goals, and what kind of lifestyle they want to choose. That's basically their energy right now. So they've retreated to decide what they want to do in their life, what are they meant for, and what is the best type of lifestyle for them. Then the next question for this part is, what are their current thoughts literally right now in this moment? So right now, what are they thinking is that they're thinking about all of the emotional damage and emotional trauma that they've gone through and the emotional challenges that they have seen and dealt with. And they're kind of thinking about all the hurt and harm that they have, that has been given to them, and that's what their thoughts are right now. So this kind of matches this hermit mode where they're kind of reflecting on everything that's happened in the past to kind of decide where they want to be and go in the future. And currently they're thinking exactly about all the emotional stuff that they have gone through and all the damage that has been suffered to them. And yeah, so they're kind of not in a pitting way, but more of like a analytical way, like, okay, so this has happened in my life, and they're kind of learning to get over it and just taking an account of it, basically, but not wallowing in it or self-pitying. They might also be learning things about themselves based on how they reacted in those situations and based on what they liked or didn't like about those situations. Okay, so pile 2, the next part of your energy is more of like a time-based, your reading is more of a time-based thing. So the first section is how long until your next meeting between you and your spouse. And the second question is how long until you guys get married. So for how long until your next meeting, you got the High Priestess and the Page of Pentacles. And in the High Priestess, this is 2. So I got 2 months first, then 2 weeks, then 2 years. But with the Page of Pentacles, happy-go-lucky face, like very satisfied and content face, but also moving towards their physical goal. I feel that you guys are moving at the perfect pace until your next meeting. So it's not going to be like a very rushed next meeting. It's not going to be a very delayed next meeting. It's going to be perfect. So out of those 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, it's going to differ based on the people who picked pile 2. But it's going to feel not rushed, not delayed, just the perfect flow of time. And it's going to feel very comfortable how you guys meet. It's not going to feel like a shock or like it took too long to meet. And then for how long until you guys get married, we have the 4 of Coins or Pentacles. So we've got 2 Page of Pentacles over here and we've got 2 goats over here. But this goat is kind of like, it's almost like jumping or gliding through the air because of how fast it's running. So how long it would take you guys to get married, it could either be 4 months or 4 years. So again, depending on what resonates with you, the 2 months, 2 weeks, or 2 years, that's how long it's going to take you to get married as well. 4 months or 4 years. But it seems very soon, very quick. But it's not going to feel very soon or very quick or rushed or anything like that. But it will happen very soon after your next meeting, I think, even. Yeah. So pile 2, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. And if it resonated, hit the likes button. And if you guys thought that it didn't resonate or would like to make some suggestions or recommendations for future videos, please do leave them in the comments below so that I can you know, cater to what you guys are interested in. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed week. Okay, welcome pile 3 to your reading. So for those of you guys who picked the poppy flower or the Tarot de la Nuit deck, this is your reading. So today we are going over the reading in 3 parts. So we're going to do how far is your spouse from you physically, and where are they right now in this literal moment, and where do they live. That's the first part. The second part will be their current energy and thoughts, and then the final part will be how long until you guys' next meeting, and how long until you guys get married. So just a forewarning, this is a bit of a odd reading, because even though I did say like one of the parts has a question, how long until you guys get married, this very first card, it seems almost like you guys may already be married. But let's see. So how far are they physically from you right now? And I got, with these hands super closely clenched together, it feels like they're very close to you, like they're within an arm's reach, and you guys may already be married or dating, and they are very close by next to you. I'm definitely getting this vibe that you guys are already dating or married. If not married, I think the marriage thing might be for a few people, but for most of you guys who picked pile 3, definitely feel you guys are dating right now. And if you guys aren't dating, then they are within an arm's reach or within a hand's reach. They're very close by. They may be like your best friend or someone you hang out with a lot, or someone that is literally sitting right next to you right now, or close by to you in a living room. I'm seeing like you're on your phone and they're on their phone, or playing games maybe, and you guys are sitting like on the same sofa or just across from each other. The next question is, where are they right now in this current moment, like literally right now? And we got the Fool card, so I got they're either picking flowers from like a garden, or at a flower shop buying flowers for you. Or the other thing could be that they're at an art studio drawing or painting something for you, something colorful and pretty. Or the final one was they're just walking around in a park, just like strolling and just wandering around. And then the final question for the first part was, where does your spouse live? And with the Ace of Cups, I'm getting that they live in a mansion or a castle. Castle was the first thing that popped up, and then a mansion. But it's a very big house. And I feel like you guys live together. Oh my god, there it goes. It's really windy today, I'm sorry. And I'm trying to just do them outside because the energy is much more positive and cleaner outside. And I enjoy doing it outside. It's also more quieter than inside the house because I live with a bunch of people. So with this Ace of Cups, they are, yeah, so they live in a very big house, and I'm getting almost like you know those houses from Downton Abbey? I'm getting like those types of houses, Victorian era, Georgian era houses. Very regal and very big, and very much so in the countryside, but only maybe a 10 or 15 minute drive away from the nearest town or village or whatever. And the countries, when I asked, the countries weren't really coming out, but I had to ask just to, you know, give you guys a few options. I'm definitely getting an England vibe, maybe northern England, North England, Wales maybe, I don't know. And then for a more romantic feel, because of this card, maybe France, Paris, maybe one of like the, I'm not sure what it's called, but there's this one town or village in France that's like a rural village, but it's been written about in literature a lot, and I think it's, maybe it starts with P, Pont de Champs, something like that. But it's nearby a river, and it's a village. If you've read Red and Black, it's a village in there. But I'm getting like it could be in that area of France as well, rather than the city of Paris. Because it's definitely somewhere where there's like a lot of land and greenery, because obviously you would need it for such a big house. It's a whole estate, right? But they're close to a town or a village or a city that they can just drive into for their daily needs or whatever, and then come back out to their house. And then I was also getting maybe Russia or Spain, just because of the redness. But yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next part. Okay, so pile 3, this is the second part of your reading, and it is about their current energy and their thoughts. And again, I got the vibe that you guys are already together with them. So for their current energy, I think death usually means transformation. But I was focusing in on the flowers here, and it also came out in reverse. So I don't think they're making any major transformations or changes in their life or their personality, but more so just minor adjustments in the way that they live their life and the way that their environment is set up or how they treat people. You've got the death in reverse with me focusing in on the flowers, and it's talking about what are their current energy. So their current energy is, again, like I said, no major transformations, just minor adjustments they're making daily throughout their life. They might be fixing a picture in their house, or maybe adjusting the furniture in their house a little bit to refresh it. They might be making just minor adjustments in their own work schedule or life schedule so that they can spend more time at home and with you. Maybe with the kids. I don't know. I don't see that many kids. Maybe one kid. But that's a very rare thing. I feel like it's just you and them. And they're also making adjustments in their personality to be more calm and peaceful and more romantic. But yeah, they're making small adjustments in their daily life and their personality and character and environment so that they can be more peaceful, calm, and loving. With their current thoughts, or what they're literally thinking about right now, you got the devil. So they're thinking about making love to you, okay, with this spark right here of the whip. So it's like a very passionate energy. I think they're thinking about making love to you. And then we've got the Five of Wands and the Four of Pentacles together. So they're also thinking about how lonely you must feel and be waiting for them at home when they're away at work. So even they're kind of like disappointed by this distance. And in both pictures, she's just kind of waiting patiently, looking away or looking at you. So it's just the sense of like patiently waiting for the person to come back home. And then with the Fool, it's again that idea of how they're thinking about how sweet and innocent and beautiful you are and how cute you are. And then finally with the Queen of Pentacles, they're also thinking about how strong and supportive you are in terms of supporting them in their career, and also being someone that is stable and grounded by themselves and confident in themselves. Even if they are not earning money, you are a very confident and grounded character, and you offer a lot of good advice and help to them in terms of their career and their life choices and decisions, and they really appreciate that. And they also love how you don't have to be earning money to be considered this Queen of Pentacles energy, because at the end of the day you are also the master of the house, like with this key that she's holding. In the old days, the mistress of the house would have the key to certain special items to lower the risk of theft and damage to those goods or over usage. They're flying away again. I'll go and grab that in a little while. But yeah. Okay, just give me a second until I grab that card again. Pile 3, this is the last part of your reading, and it is the question for the time. So how long until your next meeting is right over here, which is the Seven of Cups, Three of Cups together, and then the Knight of Wands and the Tower in reverse. So just from these cards, the Seven of Cups and the Three of Cups is saying that you're going to meet them, like they're going to come home at night and you're going to meet them then, or during tea time. That could be the evening time. Usually I know that a lot of people have a culture of drinking tea once they get back home from work, which is usually around 6 or 7 p.m. after they're like refreshed up. So yeah, I'm hearing 7 to 3 hours. For other people it could be 7 to 3 months or 7 to 3 days, and then finally 7 to 3 weeks. So that's in the order that I'm seeing them, but mostly I'm seeing that you're going to meet them tonight for dinner or just when they're coming back home. So you guys are going to meet tonight when they come back home from work, or you guys have like a date set up maybe for like 3 to 7 days from now, but I'm hearing more 3 to 7 hours or 7 to 3 hours from now. And then you also had the Knight of Wands and the Tower in reverse. So again, it's not really, the Knight is usually supposed to be like fast moving energy, and the Tower is usually supposed to be like all of a sudden like an explosion type of energy, that it just happened very quickly and very suddenly. But with both of these coming out in reverse, it's almost as if they've already made the decision to come and meet you, and it's not something out of the blue. It's something that's very common and normal for it to happen. So again, it's this idea of like you guys are already married or dating, and they're coming back home to you for their next meeting, or you guys have a scheduled date that you guys go on regularly, and they're going to meet you then. Or even just a date that you guys scheduled together. And so it's not an unexpected meeting. It's definitely something that they've been thinking about and maybe even planning. Maybe it could be a date night, even if you guys are, you know, married or dating, whatever. It could be a date night, but it's not something out of the blue and unexpected. It's something very normal for you guys. Now, how long it will take for you guys to get married, we got a lot of cards, but they all came out in different, like, piles, I guess you could say, together. So you have the King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles in reverse with the Four of Wands. So for some people, it could be 4 months, but both of you guys are kind of, I'm getting this vibe of, like, maybe saving up for the wedding, and 4 months is, like, kind of the end date of, by the time like you guys will have enough money to actually have the wedding and hold it. So it's not like it's not planned out or anything, but more so just gathering money and saving it up. So 4 months is there. Then another people who picked this pile have the Two of Cups. So with this, I'm seeing that you guys are already married. Especially with the white dress that she's wearing, and Two of Cups usually means a partnership, and because it's coming out in reverse when I asked how long until you guys get married, I think it's just giving us the answer in reverse as well, that they're already married, so there's no time that it will take to get married. And then you have the Sun, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Wands. For some of you guys, sorry about all the rest of the cards disappearing, the wind's blowing too much, so I'm just going to go one by one based on whatever came out. So some of you guys, you got the Sun, Ace of Swords, and the Two of Wands. So I'm feeling 1 to 2 months. But it's kind of a decision that is in the makings. It's definitely going to happen, but it may be initiated by grabbing onto a bouquet that's passed to you during a wedding, or it may be something that your spouse is planning to like propose to you, and you're just kind of waiting, like, when is it going to happen? It's going to happen soon, so don't worry, just be patient. They will ask you out, because again, this feeling of like asking the skull out. So definitely within 1 to 2 months you will be married, and it'll either be initiated by the spouse, your spouse, or it will be initiated by the grabbing of a bouquet at a wedding, which is going to kind of push them into proposing even earlier. They may even propose at the wedding and just have the ring on them at that time. Or for some of you people, maybe it might be like you guys give them like a look, or you guys maybe are getting annoyed that they're not proposing to you by now, and they may sense that, and so they will ask you, propose to you by the end of 1 to 2 months. Okay? And then finally, for some of you people, we've got 10 of Wands, so it could be 10 months, or it could be 10 years. And obviously with this person just kind of in this like depressed state, kind of like being very disappointed in her wedding dress, but the wedding dress is burning with passion, definitely feels like maybe you guys are just starting to date, or you guys have been dating for a very long time, and you guys are just growing very tired of like, when is it going to happen? So for some of you guys, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it may be another 10 months or it may be 10 years. 10 months was the one that came out the strongest. 10 years, I'm just saying, because I feel like I feel like there should be another option for the people who pick this pile. Yeah, and 10 months definitely is coming out with this card for the people who, you know, pick this pile. And for the people who just started a relationship, it may be 10 years. Or it could also be that you guys have known each other and are kind of like in an on and off relationship for 10 years. Thus also the passion burning the wedding dress. It could be because of you guys getting into like really passionate arguments and then going on and off in your relationship that may have stalled the journey towards your wedding. But yeah. Okay, pile 3. So I hope you guys enjoyed your reading and resonated. If it did, please hit the like button. And if you guys have any suggestions or recommendations for future readings, please do make sure to leave them in the comment box below. And if you guys don't mind, please do subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers, the more merrier, and the more topic readings that we can get. And yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful week.